last session, here we go. 5th of Uktar. And we picked up towards the tail end of the fight. The heavily armored figure disappeared off through the trees, doing some sort of teleportation through the shadows. One of the wereboars is incapacitated and left unconscious at the bottom of the the bottom level of the area. And Smokey finally overcomes his stage fright and starts swinging in earnest. Only took like five rounds or something ridiculous of being frightened. I've never seen anything like it, especially considering how low the DC was. Just awful rolls over and over again. Anyway, finally the werewolf is brought down by Eska's spell, and upon falling, he shifts out of his sort of hybrid form, and you get a look at the shaggy-haired human. That's his sort of more normal form. At that point, the others on top of the hill start fleeing as well. Well, no, fleeing is wrong. Leaving. And the group ties up the two incapacitated members of the opposition. The werebore is taken down to the bottom of the hill, and the archer is up the top. A quick sort of ransacking of the goods reveals 3 longbows, 3 short swords, a couple of mauls, 1 silvered short sword, and 1 piece of parchment that says, "Convince the elf, slay the Quiet One's daughter." After reviewing all of these bits of information, it's agreed upon that Silverius and Cosette will talk to the werebore, and Eska talks to the archer. Sort of going with a good cop, bad cop, but on 2 different people, and without having the knowledge of who's doing what. So it's not the most effective good cop, bad cop routine we've ever seen.
It's our first time, I'd like to point out.
Yeah. Silverius goes extremely bad cop, and gets frustrated with the lack of good answers, and stabs the werebore.
Hey, it wasn't the lack of good answers. That makes me look real bad.
You can take that up with Bahamut.
And I will.
Cassette has some concerns about that. Actually.
Would you prefer to call it? Would you prefer us to call it religious intolerance?
I think that's worse.
It's not better. It's definitely not better.
No. Silverius intolerance.
Yeah, that sounds more accurate. Eska takes a completely different approach. Casts friends on the chap while he's unconscious, meaning he can't resist. The scout says that they are trying to recruit her, and Eska releases him after having a drink with him, and then quickly calls Bardoor up to cast Hunter's Mark to aid tracking him through the woods. And we pick up with him slinking off away into the into the woods. Really, that was accurate. So yeah, it is as I said, it's the 5th of Oktar. It's probably approaching lunchtime now, and I believe, unless anything has changed, the plan is to leave the battlefield and give chase to the scout.
I have one more prayer of healing. Let me make sure there's not like a immune for a certain amount of time, because I know we did one. It takes 10 minutes to cast, but that might top us all off but we lose 10 minutes of tracking time. What do you guys think?
Can we cast while moving? Or is that one stationary only?
Yeah, it doesn't say you can't. You just have to be within 30 feet. So if we walk together, I could do that, I guess.
Walk and pray.
Just to not lose... Well... And if she can't, I'll just carry her like a baby.
Oh yeah, and it's...
I mean, she wouldn't be able to move quickly, but I don't think you guys are planning on moving quickly. I have no problem with being able to.
And it's casting time 10 minutes, so we don't have to be within the 30 feet the entire time. Like walking for 10 minutes within 30 feet of each other. We just have to be
just at the moment of casting.
Yeah.
Spencer, didn't you say at the end of last session that you were going to spend 10 minutes before we left starting to cast it just in case? I'm pretty sure you said that.
Yeah. So I should be like 9-ish minutes in.
Yeah. I think you're pretty much done.
So I think it's...
Yeah, it's just vocal. So I see no reason why you couldn't. That's a long prayer. But yeah, I'm happy for you to be able to just do that while you're walking slowly. Okay. So yeah. What's the plan then? Tell me. I need to know.
What is the what, sorry?
The plan.
Oh, I guess I probably will. I know I normally go at the back, but I think because we're trying to be ultra tracking, I'll go up front with Bardur this time.
Okay.
I'll stay behind them.
Yeah. So there's 3 rows. You can just assign yourself a slot in the turn order to say which row you're in.
Cassell will be in the middle.
In that case, Eska, you can. So, well, you tell me. How do you want to? How do you want to track it? What are you looking for?
I guess footprints.
Okay.
Footprints and, branches that have been snapped.
Will help.
And
blood. Blood in the snow, right?
Sure.
He was fairly wounded.
He was very wounded. Okay. Yeah, give me survival with advantage.
Oh, okay, 13 plus whatever Bardur's survival is. Probably like 53 or something.
Let me pop them out here. Oh, no. There we go.
I'm guessing it's going to be like... Oh, actually, he might have extra bonuses, so...
He's just a +5.
Okay, 18.
Okay.
Can I change Kedox's position to 100 feet behind the group?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Sure can.
And he is specifically just a rear early warning in case of anything. So.
Okay. All right. So, first, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. The track is pretty clear. There's, as noted, he was bleeding pretty heavily. And he's not really taken much care to cover his tracks. So you can you can see pretty much which way he's going. He seems to be heading he's turned west now, away from... Well, okay, actually this map is not pointing actual north. Thinking about
Why would it be?
Where you would have come in. Shush. Yeah, so north of the map is south. So we can just... He's just heading south. That's fine. That makes sense. Can you give me a perception check for Kedox, please, as well, just in case?
I can.
And then do you want to roll the healing for prayer of healing? Oh, there it
Yep,
is.
I was just trying to adjust it. So 15 hit points.
Hot diggity.
And that's a spell save of
Alright,
13, so if we don't want to get
perception.
healed, we have to beat 13.
Yeah, if you pass.
21 for Keydoc's perception.
That's some major healing.
I'll let you know if anything comes up. Yeah, that's significant. Bardor says he doesn't need it. Thanks very much. Oh, no, wait. He needed 1. He was down 1 hit point by the end of that.
Wait.
Ridiculous dwarf.
You said healing came through?
15 healing.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
So you should now... Everyone should be able to see everyone's bars, I think.
I'm close to
That's not
max,
linked.
but not quite.
Yeah, mine wasn't linked, but I just updated it manually.
Yeah, I'm linking it to hit point. Oh, now the caveat is you need to make sure you don't zero it out, otherwise you lose your max. That's all. So just make a note of your max HP somewhere. In your bio or something. Okay. So... Oh, there's already one on the screen. He's smart. He factored that in already. Okay. So, yes, you're able to track him. You do feel like it's getting slightly harder to track, in part because it does feel like the amount of blood that's being dropped is getting lower. That either means the wounds are healing a bit or he's running out of blood. One of the two. But you can make another roll.
Is that me making the roll?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. That's better. 17 total.
Okay. So, yeah. As noted, the blood trail seems to have pretty much stopped at this point. But he's still not being particularly careful. The footprints are fairly easy to follow. There's broken branches as he pushes past. He's leaving a pretty clear trail. Still headed pretty much directly south at the moment. And then you come to a spot again another 15 minutes or so later, and it looks like there are 2 trails at this point. One heading southeast, one heading southwest.
And are we not sure which one he's gone down?
They both look like viable trails.
But footprints aren't
You
showing?
can-
Or might be, or...
There's footprints on both sides.
And this is... So this half an hour or 45 minutes in?
About half an hour.
Half an hour in, okay. I'm guessing Bardo will probably have a shifty around unless anybody can beat his abilities.
Ooh. I don't think I can.
No, I can't quite.
All right, let's have another survival here.
Ooh, 20. Just a regular.
20 is what you need.
Ooh.
So, Bardo stops and looks and says, well, one of these must be a dummy trail. He's trying to throw us off. And takes a look, trying to assess. And takes him a minute or two just to figure it out without trying to go down either of them too far. But he comes back and says, southwest, the footprints are deeper. Almost as if someone has trodden on the same place twice. He went that way, doubled back. That's the wrong way. We need to go southeast.
Intentionally? He knows we are following?
He probably suspects we might be following.
Perhaps...
I would if I was
yes,
him.
perhaps he is trained in such matters and does it as a point of course, just in case.
If he's been out in the wilderness like this, then I would expect him to know how to do that. Setting up that dummy chair will have taken a bit more time though, so he might not be as far ahead as he was.
Smokey, do you...
So just bear that in mind.
Smokey, do you have the ability to shift into an animal again? Or are you all done for the day?
I think I have one more. I do have it noted on my Roll20 sheet. I just...
Yeah, I think you just did the snake once, right?
Yeah.
I think that's it. So, yeah.
It could be an opportunity once we get closer to check on him without his knowledge.
Flea?
I mean, a flea is a little bit slow. Do you have anything outside flea and octopus? Because neither is going to really cut it here.
Let's see.
Something one might see in the woods that would not... I mean, birds? Can you do birds?
I don't think I can do things that fly. Oh, well, I can do a giant fly. So let's...
Can you take off? Or can you only do a giant fly that walks?
I don't know.
I'm trying to remember. I think you don't have a fly option yet. I think that's later.
You probably have...
I think
Okay.
you can
Yeah,
swim,
like a
but
swim
you can't
speed.
fly. I'll double check.
Like one of those
I opened up
Taldorian
into
sprinting
George.
flies?
Next level, you can fly.
Okay.
Quick, let's get some experience.
So close.
I can be a rat.
I mean,
How much experience for slaying a party member?
A lot.
what? Yeah, a rat might be good. the rats have? Does anybody know what speed rats can go? Because you want to be at least able to keep up with a human.
I have it here. Thankfully I have the changing animal thing on my phone. So let's see.
Hey.
Speed of 20 feet.
Yeah, I don't know what else you can. Have you seen foxes or wolves or deer?
These are not things I am used to. I have seen in the flesh.
You need to
That
get
makes
out more.
I have mostly spent my life on the ocean, so
Otter probably won't be very fast.
The baboon is right out.
that's right.
They might.
You know,
Can
you could just be a snake again.
a giant snake?
About 30 feet.
Can he turn into a Kedox?
I can, if I'm a giant rat, which is a small beast, I can move 30 feet. So I could be a giant rat.
How big is a giant rat? What size do they come under?
Don't do it. You're gonna get killed by some other starting group of adventurers.
It says small beast.
Oh,
I don't
that's
know
small.
what
Okay.
small means. Small,
Yeah, that's
but-
like a
About Bardor size.
Can you turn into a barter? He's a small beast.
I assume giant rats. I mean,
Which one's Bardor? Which one's the rat?
a giant rat could be in a forest,
The one
theoretically.
with the flea in the beard.
Yeah, especially in the fire swamps.
Yeah.
Yep.
What if Smokey
Just
turned
call
into
me
a bird
an ROUS. Whoa, oops.
and we launch? No, we we put Smokey on an arrow as a bird. Just open your wings.
They got quite a lot of distance on them. That could work.
I mean, 300 feet for a bow, right?
For a longbow, it's
I mean, in
800
a
or something?
6-second round, that's pretty fast.
I think 600.
600,
for a longbow.
Yeah. In 6 seconds.
Yeah.
well, maybe
Turn into a flea and we can just tape you on and cover some ground super quick.
have a think about it, because I don't know if we're close enough yet. I just figure if we get close, we ideally want to see what's happening without him knowing we're definitely back here. So we may want to close the distance towards the end, but not all of us.
So you want me to wait?
Yes, it was probably.
To change
We're only
into a rat?
we're only halfway. I mean, if you want to change into one there, that's fine. But
I mean, I do not think I will be most effective in battle if I change now. If something happened
don't
between
put yourself
now
down.
and then.
But yes, there's no need to change now. Just
I can bring key dogs forward.
Also, you could be a boar. You've definitely seen boar,
Oh yeah, I would have seen boar. Yeah.
and that's got 40 feet. It's a shame you weren't around during some of the earlier stuff, because axe beaks have got 50 feet.
oh, that would be cool.
Man. Next time we're back in like a city, we're going to the zoo.
Just up my index.
Yeah, I gotta get a good database upload. Like,
Do you have to see a living one? Could you go to like a taxidermy museum and just wake up on all your forms?
or when they transform, are they just stationary?
It's such a vague rule.
We could attempt to describe stuff to you and see if you can get close to it with that.
Well, it's not.
Charades.
It's not that. Okay, it's not that I wouldn't know what a wolf was or have seen it, but I guess I was putting a restriction on myself for things that I would have normally encountered and would therefore understand how they move and what they do.
I think that's how I would, if I was a druid too, because then it gives you the fun of finding new things and being like, ooh.
Yeah, and like, ooh, I want to sit
Nah.
around and observe this thing now.
Now I can be a horse.
Oh, can you be a horse?
Now I can be a velociraptor.
Could be a horse.
Although,
It would be weird for a random horse to be in the woods.
yeah, that's true.
I think the boar is good
from a
because
stealth point of view.
there's boar issues around here anyway, so it would blend in with the scene a bit more.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. It's a good call.
So anyway, so you've established which way you want to go. And start heading that way. 15 minutes or so passes, and we're getting towards the end of Bardor's spell. He can tell that is starting to fade. But so far it's been fine. You've been able to follow along pretty well. What you notice as you sort of stop for a second and Bardor's looking for the next sign of the trail. The woods seem very quiet again. There's no birdsong right now. No shuffling about apart from the noises that you guys are making. And despite it being close to midday, the woods feel very close and dark. Can I please get one more survival roll?
$15.
It takes Bardor about 2 or 3 minutes to feel confident that he's going the right way. The clues have been getting less and less obvious as the party's continued moving forwards. It seems like the guy has been working to create some distance, create some dummy trails, but also he's aware of the situation he finds himself in and is trying to take measures to protect himself. However, there is a trail that leads deeper into the woods. Still kind of heading southeast. You're now quite far away from any of the, the road that you entered the woods on is long gone. But as you follow this path, you again, it's now deathly silent apart from the noises you guys are making. There is a cold wind that is pushing through, and you become painfully aware of every little twig that breaks under your feet. And you start to see on in the distance, it looks like the trees are thinning slightly up ahead.
should we send somebody to check this out, so we don't burst forth into something we're not prepared for?
Perhaps. And we need to be clear on our goals here. Are we finding information, or is this just justice? What is our goal?
I would say mostly the former. I think we find information and make decisions from that. If possible, if we can discover what is happening here, we can fall back and discuss if we need to make further plans. A lot will depend on what we encounter.
And then, which one of us should move ahead of the others? Or do I send key dogs?
I guess the question would be, how likely is a small dragon to be flying over? How common?
And I would not send him in flight. And if we are observing, do we have methods to hide ourselves?
I would think it depends on how without knowing what we are about to go into, it is hard to say. If we're not hearing anything right now, right? Where we're at, we don't sort of hear sounds of, say a camp or people moving about.
Make a perception check.
9 plus some perception. It's gonna be 13.
There's nothing obvious right now coming from anywhere. Just the stillness.
I mean, this could be a good time for... What I'm worried about is if Smokey turns into a boar, they obviously have quite a thing about boars. My slight worry would be that Smokey will pop out and they'll be like, hooray! And attempt to bring Smokey into their ranks. It's just a small concern, but it would be a little unfortunate. Or, on the other hand, be like, hey, you're not one of our boars. That kind of thing.
An infiltration side quest.
Yeah. I mean, it could go really well. You may be able to get right in there. Deep cover.
Well, I could still go with the rat idea.
Yes. I suppose at this point, if you don't want to be a giant rat, because I've never seen a giant rat, and it might be a bit conspicuous. Maybe a normal-sized rat in this circumstance would be okay, because we do not need feed as much.
You're only familiar with Ratty, the medium rat.
Yes.
Ratty.
Ratty.
Also, I could potentially, if you wanted to rat ahead, I could stay a distance back, in case you see something and you want to come back and let me know. If that would be okay with the gang, I'll just hang back a little ways so that if something surprising happens, we have I have the ability to communicate back to you.
My concern is this a valuable use of Smokey's abilities? Is he not almost drained for the day? And we
Yes,
really use this on a rat?
I know this hasn't gone the best in the past. But it's bound to work at some point.
Did you feel like the snake thing worked out well earlier, Silverius?
It certainly could have been better. Was not the worst display, but I was not impressed. However, a giant snake is more useful than a rat, with limited resources to be able to conjure forth such forms.
Do you feel then that a non-animal stealth mission should be attempted, or are you just advocating for sort of bundling in there and just saying, "Hey, it's us again"?
Certainly a viable option, but no.
I think he's hoping I will turn into something a bit more useful if it comes to blows.
Smokey's abilities are useful. I feel they are squandered on a rat.
That is fair. I'm happy however we want to approach things.
Do we have any form of camouflage, stealth, invisibility? I do not possess such arcane abilities.
Can Bardo go invisible? Okay, just when it's dark.
He can do pass without trace.
Do you get the sense he'd want to?
If there's going to be sneaking up there,
Because
then
we could
yes.
do the thing where we do pass without a trace
You would
here, and then a couple of us sneak forwards. And then if we get to a point where we feel like we want to come back and then bring the gang forward, everybody will still be passed, if I remember.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
he's
know
happy to
last
do
time
that.
we tried to sneak into a camp.
He's got enough juice in the tank. Oh. The underground orc pass.
Oh, I was thinking of the bugbear camp or whatever they were. Not bugbear. Were they bugbears?
Oh, yeah.
Where we tried to...
With the princess.
Yeah, we tried to sneak in there and it went wrong immediately. So...
Well, they're expecting you,
That's true.
and they're ambushes.
I'm not into...
Now, are these ones expecting us, and are they ambushers?
They're definitely half of that. They are, yes. I am happy to sneak with Badar if he is willing, and then we will just try and be sensible and if we can find a good spot to observe from, come back and get the rest of you to sneak up with us. Or form a plan if we can gain enough information.
Do you want me to come with you? I can also read lips.
How sneaky are you feeling today?
As sneaky as I always do.
Okay. Yes, why not?
What could go wrong?
Yes, but on a scale of 1 to 20 plus some sort of modifier, what would you say?
Oh, always a 20.
Okay, yes.
All right. So we're doing stealth for those three then?
Yeah.
All right. You may all consider yourselves under the effect of pass without trace.
How long is that?
1 hour?
Okay.
I want to say.
So if things go okay, we've got time to sneak up there, check it out, sneak back, and then reapproach if we want to drop an ambush or something. I feel that's optimistic, so I'm not sure we're gonna do that, but we'd have time to attempt it within the pass without a trace.
Yeah, it just requires concentration for now.
How much energy does Barder still have left?
That'd be his last second level.
Does he
But
first levels?
he has first levels. Yes. Multiple.
Multiple. Okay.
I wasn't convinced, but yeah. Yes. All right. Let me please get a stealth check from Smokey and Eska with a plus
I'm
10.
guessing it's not.
Oh, it's just 1 dice plus 10?
Yeah.
It's not advantage. Okay.
No, I mean, really, this is better than advantage.
We'll be the judge of that.
Advantage on average gives you a plus 5.
Does she get her modifier plus 10 or just plus 10? It
Oops.
replaces
Yeah,
your
yeah.
modifier. Yeah.
Yeah, it's regular stealth. plus
It's
10.
not sort of shady, is it?
What?
Wooka wooka. Slim Shady.
Is it dark? Is it sort of you know? Let me.
Yeah, he did just say it was kind of dark in here.
Let's see.
How
Dim
much dark
light.
do you need? Dim light. Given that it's midday,
Okay, I thought it was
probably not.
optimistic. All right. Oh dear.
Cast weather. Detect weather. When
Yeah.
clouds come in.
So my total is going to be. Oh my. Okay. That's good. 24.
21.
That's off a 6.
That's with your plus 10?
Yes.
You got to 24 off
Yeah.
a 6. Yeah, that's quite good.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
worried for a second.
You feel sneaky.
Does Bardo feel sneaky?
Did you see the roll?
Oh
I don't know if you
no.
did. Bardo rolled a 22,
32.
which means he's at a
Oh, we've lost him
a
again.
32, yeah.
Just me
Yeah.
and you, Smokey. Let's go.
Standard.
Oh dear, he's done it again.
You're going to come up on area where it feels like the air is getting thinner. Give me 1 second and I'll show you exactly what it looks like.
I'm going to use my boots of false tracks to make my tracks also look like Smokey's tracks.
That is an excellent use.
Does Smokey just leave like paw prints? Okay.
Yeah, like the little
So
kitty
there's
paw
two
prints.
sets of kitty paw prints.
What's your HP now, Angie? It went up 50, so you're at...
I'm at full health.
You're at full. Okay.
Yeah, I think it was like 44. It would have, but I assumed it stopped at whatever my full health is.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. Right, let me, apologies for the delay there. We're just gonna, weep. There we go. And then, how do we focus ping? All right. Can you guys see the top corner of this?
Yes.
Just like a little square with Eska Smoky Bar door.
35 by 35.
Yes. Okay. Who do you want? I don't know how well Rich and Angie you can actually see this. So
I cannot at all.
okay. Not a problem. Clear the turn order. So who's going to be in the front of your little trio? Or how do you want to, how far apart do you want to be? Who wants to be in the lead, if there is a lead, or you're just going to be staggered across? Let me know what you want to do and I'll set you up accordingly.
Do you have any thoughts?
My intention was to follow Bardor.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
To be
mine
behind
too.
Bardor.
So we'll go in a triangle of Bardur at the front.
Triangle of Terror.
We need him to act as the minesweeper.
Okay.
AKA the first target.
Maybe.
All right. So it is clear, so you're going to be able to see everything. As you get out of the clearing here, I'm going to reveal the map. Which again, you won't be able to see. But I will show you.
Oh dear.
What I'll do is I'll
Send Angie a photo.
can you see
Oh, yeah.
anything?
Yeah, I can see, but Angie
I'll-
can.
Okay, hold on. Do.
Oh, whoa.
All right, I'm dropping a snip of it into Discord.
It's like an Animorphs Anonymous
Okay.
meeting.
This looks
All
like
right.
the council of the group with the unicorn, but
The
the
evil-
evil
yeah.
version, the axis of evil.
So let me give you a description of what you're seeing. So there very much is a clearing. You can see that some trees have been specifically felled for the purpose of making this clearing, but there's a group who have formed a rough circle around the middle of this clearing. At the top of the circle, there is a large stone obelisk. Hard to see any more details from where you're at right now, just that there is a large stone obelisk there. Next to the obelisk, if we move clockwise around from the obelisk, which is essentially at 12 o'clock here, about 1 to 2 o'clock, you have a group of large, shaggy-haired creatures, look to be holding moles. Give me, Eska, give me history or nature,
Okay.
please.
We'll go with nature. Oh dear. 9. 9.
What'd you say?
Oh, you roboted. Okay. You're not quite sure what these are from back here. Also, that was moles, not moles. Around from sort of in the sort of 3, 4, 5 o'clock range, it looks like there's a number of the archer scouts that you encountered previously, and maybe one werebore standing with them. There's a large fallen log in the 5 to 6 o'clock range that looks like it has another one of the scouts. And then even from here, you would think looks like another werebore, maybe a werewolf. Next to another fallen tree, there's a couple of large boars. Just big boars. Just boars. Around the 9 o'clock range, there is a toppled statue. Next to the toppled statue, there are 2 important figures. One is a purple-skinned, looming figure in heavy mail that some of the group have seen before. Eska, you have seen this chap before, for certain. The other side of the plinth where the statue is being toppled, there is a light purple-skinned elf. Not wearing what she was seen in before. Currently, she is in what is it? She is in dark robes now, woven with silver. And round next to the obelisk in the sort of 11 o'clock area, there is 2 huge wolves, and between them, a hunched, slightly wolf-like looking fellow. Give me another nature or nature. I would say nature for this one.
9.
Not sure what he is either. He looks slightly canine in his features, but it's hard to say for sure. Does not look like the werewolves. Oh, the werewolf that you encountered previously, at least. At the center of the circle, you see the scout that you were tracking, badly injured, seems to be talking quietly, not within hearing. In fact, he's moved up now. Is talking to the 2 next to the fallen, toppled statue.
Esko will whisper, This is more than I hoped to find. What are they saying, Smokey? What are they saying?
I'm staring intently at their lips.
Okay. They're quite far away. Give me a perception roll to see how well you can read, given that there is.
You don't have like a
Yes. Natural 20.
Never mind.
Oh.
She has
I will show you.
nature's, oh, I believe you. But it's always cool to see. Hey, look at that. It's a 20.
That dice has been sitting there the whole time.
Yeah. Just waiting for this.
I lay up 4 of these before we go.
So you see, you can't see the scout because he is facing away from you. And at the moment, it's the scout who's doing most of the talking. Every now and then, you do see either the heavily armored guy or the elf just ask. It really, all they're asking is just like a clarification of like how long ago, that sort of thing. That conversation doesn't really have any interesting tidbits, and it passes after about a minute after you arrive, and the scout heads over and just props himself up against the fallen log here. At that point, the big chap kind of steps forward. And you can hear a bit of this, but Smokey, you'll be able to catch all of it, because of the angle just works. So you've got a good look down, because they're kind of in a bit of a dip too. And he speaks out and just says, "The time is nearly upon us. The great hunt will begin soon. The beasts will run, the blood will flow, and the strong will feast upon the weak." And as he says this, you hear little yips of approval, and some of them sort of bang their weapons together, and there's a little sort of a slight frenzy fills the air. Escobardor, as you're hearing this, you become aware there's still no sound other than what's now happening down in this clearing, but the air, you can smell, there's like damp fur, blood carried across the air, and then the elf steps forward and just scans the area, tilts her head slightly as she's looking around. For half a second, you feel like her eyesight lingers on the corner where you three are. And it doesn't look like she kind of locks eyes with you, Smokey, but as you're watching her, you see just the faintest corner of her mouth curl up in a smile. She says, "But first, we have much to discuss." And the group start kind of like closing in a little bit more, and your eye line gets obstructed as they all sort of close ranks, so they can hear better without shouting. Because who wants to have to shout all the time? Why am I not able? There we go. Having a hard time selecting everybody. So they all close in, and that it's now a lot harder to see. I mean, you did get a 20. So, as they close in, you are going to be able to pick up some snippets. But I will say, do you want to say anything to the others before, like, as they start to close ranks a little bit? Or are you just going to sit and watch? Or how do you want to handle that?
I think I would... just say, ooh, quietly. She seemed to look at me when she said, "But first we have much to discuss. But hang on, I think I can see more things." And then I'll keep honing in.
Okay, Eska, having heard that, how do you feel?
Well, I think I'd have to say, trepidatious.
Are you content to wait it out?
Yes and no.
Okay.
I don't.
Because I guarantee you, Bardor is looking for the door.
Oh, he doesn't.
Out.
He doesn't have an arrow nocked, waiting to just shoot anybody that he sees.
No, he's done the arithmetic and he's not liking 3 on 20.
Yeah,
he may be content to wait, but he doesn't like the idea of them knowing where he is.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much where I'm at.
Okay. But you're content enough for now to stay.
The potential for information is too good to to worry about that too much. If Smokey feels confident enough to sit there, I'm happy.
Oh.
Well, he's a bit caught up in getting information. So I think if Bardor and Eska were going to say assess that, we should make a run for it, they would need to just grab him and go.
Like they start to move back, and Smokey's just like, huh?
Yeah, they would. Yeah, exactly. They would have to like put a hand on his shoulder and be like, "Let's get out of here."
Also, I apologize. I forgot to mention when I was describing the scene. You do see there's a number of tents on the far side of the clearing too. 5 or so large tents that look like they've been set up for a period of time. I just saw them again when I zoomed out.
And it's very quiet.
Forgot to mention those. Very quiet.
Too quiet?
I mean, it's been too quiet for a while now. Yeah. Okay. So here are some of the snippets that you would pick up, Smokey. You see, you catch the phrase, the next full moon. No mistakes next time. She has to go. This is all coming from the big muscle dude, the armored guy. You do also see the elf say, no, not yet. You don't see that yet. The armored guy also says, we need to pull on emotions. And then there's a little pause, and then the elf says, it might be wise to scout the perimeter.
Okay, we need to go.
That's up. Yeah, that's after about like sort of 10 minutes of discussions. She says that.
They are coming. We have to get out of here. They know we are here.
Do we see anybody moving?
Smokey starts to turn around and go.
Do we see
What was
anybody
that?
moving?
Yes, you see after Smokey says that, you see some of the archers start gathering their stuff together. And they seem to be having a discussion amongst themselves.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'll back up with Smokey.
And then one of them goes over to the furry chap and start sort of like aggressively petting the neck area of this big wolf. And he starts to head out this way. Give me a stealth check again, as you are now trying to move away. It will need to be this is going to be tricky because you need to move quickly and quietly. So, bit challenging.
29.
Okay. I was going to say you're still under the. Bardoor, come back. What was given Bardoor?
25.
I don't think Bardoor's capable of rolling below. Let's see. Yeah, okay, I think we're safe here. Can't roll below 20. 24. This is as bad as it gets, pretty much. Okay, I did not write any of that information down. I'll need to come back and write that in. Smokey. That's my placeholder. Smokey reads lips. Good enough. Sneak away. So Bardoor was his name. 24. Eska, what were you again? 29?
Yes.
Smokey, what did you say?
25.
25. How far away was the rest of the group?
That's a good question.
I mean, you should know that.
Where did we start sneaking from?
Yeah.
I think we would have been within shouting distance, but not particularly close.
Seems reasonable. 100 feet?
Well, let's test it. Eska will
100
shout,
feet back?
"Hey guys, can you hear us?"
Not the guys we're spying
yeah,
on, but
yeah.
our friends.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, you hear back from the clearing. Yes, we can hear you.
No, not you.
Oh, sorry.
Carry on. Talk a little louder, actually.
And really enunciate with your lips if you could.
Or
Whole
just
face
talk
to
really
this
loud, and then we
corner.
don't have to worry about reading lips.
Has anybody taken minutes for this meeting? We'd like a copy.
Actually, that would be really helpful for me.
Yeah, I guess we'll retreat.
I saw
I
Angie
would
making
assume then
notes.
we'd retreat the 100 feet or whatnot, and then probably say keep quiet. They are scouting the perimeter. We will keep our eyes open to see if they get too close. Just keep down. And I assume I assume we'd at least try and, get near some bushes or something. We wouldn't just be saying that standing out in the middle of the open. We'd sort of try and hunker down a bit.
Right. Okay. Let me get stealth from the others.
Wait, from me?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Now,
With your plus 10.
does our armor affect a stationary stealth, or how should this work?
If your plan is to just sit tight, then I think you're fine.
Is that our plan?
I mean, that's Eska's plan. If people want to disagree, that's fine. But they only talked about the perimeter, so
Yeah.
How many were there?
Oh, 15 or so.
15.
There's many, yes. Too many.
When Silverius says that, do like birds fly away from the trees
and you-
and stuff like that? Or
You would have seen a couple of. It looked like a couple of them were heading your vague direction. Of the group that you saw.
I mean, we can try and sneak away, or we can try and sit tight and if they do not come this close, make a move. It is up to you. I do not know what their scout pattern will be.
I don't like any of these options.
While in the midst of the conversation, Silvarius tells Kedox to kind of head to basically like an eastern arc, or like away within the circle, like radius. He's kind of there and not behind us anymore, and just gonna huddle down and prepare to make noise if Silvarius needs to create a alternate distraction.
If we
Got it.
if we sit
And-
tight and they do come up to us, because I don't think they'll see us from far due to this spell. Perhaps we can get the drop on one of them and take them out before anything else happens.
Good, then we just have 14 more.
That was my thought. Not quite as sarcastically as you said it, but yes, that was my thought.
But maybe they send one person to look
Yes.
to see what happened to that person, and
I saw a play a long time ago called Die Hard, and in that they just sent one guy at a time. It could work.
Like the hero of legend, Seagal. Famous for fighting one at a time.
It can't go wrong.
Some say he is unbeatable.
All right, I'm gonna roll regular stealth then, because assuming we haven't moved yet, and then if we move, I'll roll disadvantage. Does that sound good?
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay. Yeah, 6.
You may as well
Wait,
roll at disadvantage.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Okay.
18 for Silvarius after the plus 10.
Okay. And one for Kedox as well.
Yes, come in. Oop. There you go. Let's say he was probably outside of the casting. 26 for Kedox.
Right. Yes. Okay. So you sort of retreated back into the woods here a little.
So Varus is trying, he's like taking snow and kind of like, he's laying down and throwing it on himself and grabs a branch in an attempt to look like foliage.
Can you see this?
Yes.
So there's not really a track per se like this, but it gives the impression at least. So you guys are currently off to one side, Kedox over the other side, as these scouts come through. I'm going to roll some perception checks now and see what happens.
And is the camp southeast from here? Southwest from here?
Yes. Southwest from here, yes.
Okay. Which direction did we come from? Northeast?
Yeah. Yeah, you would have come.
Okay.
Wait.
And which way is the wind blowing today?
No, you came from the northwest.
Okay.
Originally. The wind is
Okay, get out of the screen. Not rude.
Smokey, hide better.
Where's the weather?
That's like a scene where Smokey's like fully down, but the tail's like
yeah, waving
over.
above the bush.
Yeah.
That seems more like something Silvarus would do. Silvarus would try and hide behind a bush, but his bottom half of his body would be behind the bush, but his whole top half would be up above it, just like...
With the tree where his head is hidden, but his shoulders
Yeah.
are like sticking out.
Are you working out which way the wind's blowing, Phil?
Yeah.
He's going into the climate files of
Yeah.
Faerun of this year. Typical wind patterns, the northeasterly.
It's a pretty light wind right now, so it's not really carrying anything anyway. Just a few miles an hour. Not making much impact. So yes, we're gonna roll some perception checks for these mad lads.
I do have my bow to hand just in case anything should shoot out of it.
All right. All right, and then so we had let me just check the numbers. Cosette was a 16. Various was an 18. And Kedox is a
26.
So the two scouts approach. One of them is looking more towards Kedox, doesn't seem to see anything. One of them looks towards where the group is. And kind of tilts ahead slightly. And definitely starts moving towards the group. Fun fact, these guys have advantage on perception check.
That's not fun.
Of course they do.
It's for me. So one of them is definitely heading towards you guys right now.
How well can we see this?
How well did you bury yourself in snow to the point where you couldn't see anything else?
Around level 8. Numerical value about 18. So maybe not very good.
I mean, certainly, you're realizing now, Silvarus and Cosette especially, that maybe you didn't quite do a good enough job of hiding yourself. Because he seems to be heading in your direction, having seen something that looked out of place.
I'm going to try something.
He hasn't done anything to... He hasn't even alerted his companion yet. Who's heading off vaguely in the direction of Kedox, but not actually in the direction of Kedox, if you follow.
Okay, I'm gonna hold temporarily.
So he's about 40 feet away right now, and closing. There's a little sort of divot here that he's walking next to. And he's probably now 30 feet from Smokey. And you can see he's starting to reach for an arrow. And he's turning around to say something to his companion who's still heading off towards the right.
Okay, I'm gonna try push up next to Smokey.
That's it?
And no, sorry, I just wanted to see if you were gonna say anything.
I will. Let me hear what you
I want to
do,
cast a
and then
spell.
I'll tell you if we need to. Okay.
And that.
Yep. Okay.
And that spell is suggestion.
Okay. I will need from you, please, some form of how you say initiative. 1 second. Why? Do it there. Okay, let me clear this again. Alright, if you would select yourself and then roll initiative. That would be swell.
Oh, that didn't work. In multiple ways. Oh, it did work. It did put it on the turn order. Okay.
It worked. Yeah. But, boy, was that not a high roll.
They might have bad initiative.
It could roll worse.
It doesn't look like they did.
They could roll worse.
Oh, it's Smokey.
Really into character.
Okay, so this chap's still just moving over here slowly and looking around. This chap sees you start to move and turns as he's grabbing an arrow, turns over to his colleague and just whistles, and then will loose a shot at you. You are going to get some cover here because you've sort of been hit and you're a bit behind a tree. So let's face it, my odds aren't great here. Okay. So does a 17 doesn't hit, especially if you've got a +2 for some cover. How about a 22?
No. Don't think so.
Now, is that just because... So you get +2 for cover.
Yeah, it's not going to help.
You got some light cover. Okay. So as you step up next to Smokey, you feel... And you're getting ready to cast. He suddenly turns back at you after whistling, and before you can react, there's just this... as an arrow thuds into your shoulder. 6 piercing.
Okay. It's not the best.
You can do whatever you want to do now. You can even change what you're going to do.
Okay, I'm going to attempt to change what I was going to do.
Alright.
This is maybe less likely to work, but under the circumstances. What's my... Okay, perfect. Okay, so as he whistled over to his other friend, who I assume heard that, I am going to attempt to cast Vortex Warp on his friend.
Okay. He gets a save, I believe.
Yes. Sorry, I was going to put it into the chat. Hang on.
Yeah.
Submit. There we go.
I know you used it before.
So 15.
DC 15.
And it's a con.
Con.
It's a con.
The bleeding con. He gets a 12.
Oh. So she reaches out her hand and makes a grasping motion and then pulls him, if I may. And I'm going to put him in the bush in between Silverius, Cosette, and Bardur.
So it's range 90 feet, and then
Oh, hello.
you can just move him anywhere within reach. Man, 90 feet all around is insane range.
Yeah.
That's crazy. What level is that spell?
2.
That's crazy.
I didn't need to
Yeah.
mark that off real
Can
quick.
you twin cast that?
I can, but I didn't want to, I thought about it, but I thought I probably shouldn't. Because I twin cast it on, who did I cast it on? The people falling off the boat one time. I think it was Smokey and Claire maybe were falling off the back of the boat. Claire definitely was, because of the weird levitation thing and the boat moving.
Oh, yeah, that sounds familiar.
And
I went in
Yeah.
after Claire.
oh
Those-
yeah,
They turned
Yeah.
into an
Okay.
octopus or something.
Yeah, someone definitely got knocked off. I do remember that happening. Okay, so now everyone else, please click on your character and roll initiative. And everyone is now in on this next round.
Oopsie.
I see why they balanced it that way, but it makes no sense why you can't teleport somebody into the air.
yeah.
Realistic standpoint,
Yeah.
but I get why it would be so unfair. Just teleport people up and they fall onto spikes or
Yeah, and
Well,
then
if you
in an
were
ideal world, I teleport him 90
on
feet above
a
where he
cliff
is.
edge.
yeah.
If you're on a cliff edge, can you teleport them to right next to you over the cliff edge?
Yeah.
No, they have to be on a solid surface.
Yeah, I get why they balanced it that way, but it
You could still,
Or
you
in
Oh,
could
a
still,
liquid.
that can support them.
So you can put them in. You can put them in.
oh, that's
lava.
not so bad. You could put them next to you on the cliff edge, though, and then push them over.
Oops.
And they would be a little disoriented. I think that's accurate. Right. Let's sort this.
I rolled a 16 or no,
Oh,
my
yeah.
my total initiative roll. Well, not just roll, but my total initiative is 16 for this one.
Okay. There we go.
I don't think I can put key docs on the initiative order.
Oh.
His first one was a 10, though.
That turn. Boop boop. Okay. So we'll have Silverus go first here. So you see Esther get shot. And then as you're processing that, there's just this weird little pop as one of the scouts who was looking behind him, apparently, towards the camp, is now suddenly in front of you.
And he quickly gets to his feet and tries to grapple him.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a grapple check.
22.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, this isn't likely. I roll a 20 on the dice for a 22
Oh.
to evade the grapple. That's wild.
That works, right?
I think it means he evades, yeah. That was literally a 1 in 20 chance.
Well, I As he slips just out of my fingertips, I continue and press forward, trying to grapple him a second time.
Go ahead. Yep. I don't like my odds of doing that twice in a row. I mean, twice in a row. Yeah, I got that.
He lunges forward like a bear hug after the miss.
Come here, you little...
Yeah, I got a 17. I would have needed a 23 on the dice to equal you. Okay, he is grappled. Let's just go with this for now. All right, so he's not going anywhere right now. Bardor's just gonna do Bardor things. He's just gonna look at you and say, "Why are you holding him?" And then he's just gonna pull out his falcata and start stabbing. I mean, that feels very on brand. Okay, it's a 23 to hit for 14 slashing. And then second attack. Oh my goodness, I want to be Bardor. This is amazing. 22 to hit 15. So you're holding him there, and Bardor just reaches around and slashes across his back twice. And suddenly you are very much holding what would be considered dead weight. As he just absolutely carves into his back. And then Bardor spins around and takes his bow ready for his next action. Smokey, you're up. You were sort of trying to process everything as this happens. You see the scout getting closer, and then just as you're about to do something, you see the arrow fly right next to you, and then you look behind you as you hear this pop, and before you even have a chance to do anything, he's being grabbed and, I mean, not quite disemboweled, but not far off. The other guy still seems to be heading towards you as he readies another shot.
Well, okay. And do I have an estimate as to how far away that guy is?
Yeah, he's about 30 feet.
Okay. Oh. I will. Do I get the feeling that he can see us, or did he see what happened?
Can I sense? Yet. He's seen Eska, and then he saw his buddy get absolutely mugged.
Okay, I'll just shoot him with one of my silver darts.
Okay. You probably need to close the gap a little to get into short range.
Okay, I'll pop out to do it.
I mean, you can do that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can take a shot.
And then so it's 1d4 plus 3. Oh, I gotta hit first.
To hit
first.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remembered. So to hit, it's gonna be 18.
Yep, 18 hits.
Okay. Now to wound. D4 triangle. 5.
Okay. Yeah, he staggers slightly, as the dart comes in and hits him.
And for my bonus action, you don't have access to my sheet to see what spells I have. Can you see? Did I have Entangle as one of my current spells? Have a red. I've highlighted them with a red dot.
Understood. Let me see.
I felt like I had some sort
please.
of grappling spell that I took, but I don't know. And I looked it up on my phone. Entangle is a bonus action. I just don't know if the spell I took is a bonus action.
Okay, let me open that again. It did not open properly. Let me just go to a different map quickly and see if I can make it. Okay. Give me one sec here.
Okay.
Let's see if it's going to let me. No, it's not that one. This one. Yeah. Apologies. It There we go. It wouldn't open your character sheet for some reason. Okay, spells. No, sadly not.
Okay.
Just trying to see if you have anything that's a good bonus. Don't believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then after I shot him, I'll just duck back into some bushes. The bushes there.
No
I'm
problem.
assuming there's bushes there, right?
Oh, there's bushes. Oh yeah.
Okay,
Loads of
yeah.
bushes.
Yeah, I'll just duck back in there.
Bushes for days. Right. That would make it Cosette.
Okay, she's gonna come up, kind of just seeing Eska get hurt. She's gonna kind of take a spot somewhat in front of her and throw a javelin at that dude. 23 to hit.
Yes, 23 hits.
For 9 piercing damage, I guess.
Is
Is that correct? I rolled it
yes.
automatically. Okay.
Yeah. And that's enough. As he's staggering towards, he's got the dart in him, and then this javelin just comes flying at him and skewers him. And I would say that what you have managed to do is, with essentially no sound, eliminate these two guys. I kind of imagine that as part of the grapple, Silveris probably had a hand over his mouth.
Yeah.
I could definitely have seen that.
You mean over his own mouth?
And then, yeah, he was obviously. Yes. He's like... Didn't want to breathe on him, obviously. That's just rude.
And lots of viruses going around these days, you know.
So, yes, as quickly as it began, it's over. A little noise is gone. It's quiet again. You're still 100 or so feet from the camp. Probably a little more at this point, actually. You're probably about 100 feet from the outskirts, you know, where so from the center of the camp it's more like 150.
Silverius, come with me.
as to not make too much noise, lays the body on the ground. What kind of garb and equipment is this person wearing?
This guy is equipped basically exactly the same as the archers that you were fighting in the ravine area. So leather armor, and then equipped with a longbow and short sword.
Okay. Knowing that, he'll just kind of leave him and head over to Eska.
She's gonna head over to where the other guy fell and ask Silverius to pick him up and take him back into the bush.
Drags him on over to the bush.
And she's going to take a moment to, pile dirt and snow over where he fell.
Okay. Give me a survival roll, please. And give me perception with Kedox. He's been keeping lookout.
Survival is 21.
Perception of 10 is...
Okay. Kedox is a bit distracted by the fighting and not necessarily keeping track of what's going on further over. Eska, you look down, you feel like there's no clear signs of a struggle here. You've been able to cover up the blood and the tracks of the fight. And certainly, you kind of look over to the path and you can see one set of footprints just disappears. The other set of footprints comes towards where you've now covered up. But essentially there's just two trails that end mysteriously.
So what, I guess between us we'll recount what we saw. Does that make sense? Whilst we've got a moment.
Yeah.
Update
Yeah.
everybody.
Yep. Oh, am I not being heard?
Oh, you're muted, I think.
Oh, I
Who?
am.
Me?
Okay. Yep. Sorry, I muted myself through my headset.
Oh.
So I was like, wait a second. I agree.
So what do we do?
Okay. So you're staying where you're at for now.
Unless
But we plan to do this 7 more times?
I mean I don't know. What do you think?
They certainly fell faster than I was anticipating. However, they are probably the weaker ones.
Do you think we should try to sneak away further then?
Perhaps.
They will eventually notice these two not return.
And they know which way they went.
Depends on how.
And they know which way they went, so they will head out this way at some point.
I have 2 options in mind, depending on how further we want to take this. One, we leave. The other, you have adopted the appearances of others in the past. I don't know how worth it that it would be here, but it is an option, albeit very potentially dangerous.
To try and infiltrate?
This if it had any value, is the weight of the question. It will certainly relocate after this.
I don't To be totally honest, obviously they have some plan to cause carnage. We do not know where though, and I do not know that if we are equipped to deal with all of them in our current state. How we use this information to our benefit, I do not know at this point though. We do not know the key pertinent facts. So, who do we warn? How do we stop it? I do not feel like we yet know the answer to any of these questions.
We have until the next full moon, but I don't know when that is. Does anybody know?
Yes, last night was a full moon.
Oh. 3 or so 10-day.
Yeah.
We could try and gather more intel to know better how to take them on.
That seems wise, but how do we do so, and how do we track them?
Well, we know they're coming. We know we're their target, so perhaps we could just set up a trap for them.
And he points, to Cosset and Eska.
You two are their targets.
It sounds like there is more than us, though.
This seems likely. It could be. I just got snippets of conversation. So, there was mention of the next full moon. No mistakes next time. So, apparently, last time there was mistakes. They said she has to go. I don't know what that means. We need to call on... Is it call on emotions? What you said? And then there's somebody... the elf seemed to know we were there. So, I mean, I don't know what all of this means together, but... I was curious about what the mistakes were the first time.
Either way, I kind of agree that we're not. Unless we're prepared to fight all of them now, which I don't think we are, then I think we should leave.
I do not feel prepared to take on all of them. I feel like I would prepare myself differently to take them on.
What?
Yeah, I definitely didn't get that last one.
You didn't?
You're roboting quite bad.
Oh.
No.
I thought you had stopped talking.
I managed to keep up with enough of the other ones.
I thought you had stopped talking and put on some Daft Punk or something.
I You guys just need to start dancing when the roboting happens.
Around the world.
Bigger, faster, stronger, harder.
So I'll just try to talk in plain English.
I do feel like taking them on in a head-on battle may be beyond us, though I do not know if their powers are waning after the full moon. I don't know if you catch them out of cycle, if they are weaker, possibly. I would have to brush up on my werewolf knowledge. But yes, either finding reinforcements to fight, or drawing them into smaller battles, such as with the scouts here, where we can take them on in smaller groups, or some kind of amazing ambush where we can have the upper hand. I just don't think we could take them on right now, just running into their camp. And I do feel like, though I could try and go in there, I do not entirely know how I would pull information out of them again after they just discussed it without seeming suspicious, and having not heard how these fellows talk specifically, I feel it would be risky to try and imitate, so I do not feel confident of going in right now.
I feel we should regroup. I feel a bit... Elements feel less important. I am concerned that they all focused on you two. But we know elements of their plan at this point.
We could also report to the Conclave and see if they have any feedback. They may know more what to... they may take more from the words than we were able to.
That is a worthwhile suggestion. Yeah, I agree with that.
Wait, when you say conclave, do you mean conclave?
Possibly not.
Do you
The
mean
court,
what?
yes. The court of Botha.
Oui. Yeah, the conclave, I think, is the guys who advise the potentate, if I remember correctly.
Yes, we should tell them.
Let's tell everybody.
So those figures shrouded in mystery that officially nobody knows who's in it.
We'll send them a
Those
letter.
guys.
Yeah.
Care of.
I was hoping
the
you'd slip
conclave.
up and let us go and talk to them.
The conclave of Bofin.
I'll be honest, I don't remember what I called the group in Badger Down. There's a chance I called them the Conclave too, which would be very poor world building.
I mean, they're so far away though. Like, it could just be like,
there's no reason you can't use the same word twice.
Yeah,
but
is there TM
it's
on
just
it?
confusing.
Like, the conclave TM. Until
Yeah,
they hit
you
it with
do
legal
that.
action.
It'll be the bad guys though. Good guys wouldn't bother copywriting that,
Right.
trademarking it, you know.
In light of what
But bad guys.
In light of what
absolutely.
Silverius said, I will take the... I'm not going to strip completely naked, but I'm going to take, like, the outer clothes of one of them.
Okay. I mean, mostly, there's some battered leather armor, and then it's, you know, just like
So
traveling
they... Oh, they're
clothes.
not sort of... There's nothing distinctive between any of them, particularly. Okay, in that
Oh,
case,
really?
I will not...
They're not in like a uniform or
Yeah,
anything.
I'll leave it then. There's only so many
Um,
sets of clothes I want to be cutting around, so yeah. It's I was in my brain because they were looking similar on there. My brain was imagining uniform, but yeah, that makes sense.
What do you mean they're looking similar? One of them's got a sort of orangey hue, and one of them's got a like a pale yellowy hue.
Yeah, pretty
That's
different.
true.
Yeah, really nothing alike. Definitely didn't use the same token twice. or indeed like 6 times on the other map.
Yeah. I guess, and they seem to be human.
Yes, these guys
Okay.
are human.
They have tattoos on them, like the markings.
Yes, they would have done. the paw print.
Okay.
The red paw print of Saruman.
Eska will attempt to lay them out, relatively honorably. I know Silverius will be scowling at her, but whatever, she'll just ignore it. I know we've dragged them into the bushes, but within the bushes she'll kind of, lay them in a respectful pose.
Got it.
And by respectful, I mean kind of like going...
I will note also that you are able to pick up 2 more longbows and 2 more short swords.
Who's tracking that? Anybody?
But
We're gonna go back to town and
I think
create
Bardura picked up
used
Two.
adventuring equipment and weapons pop up.
Barely used. Fired one
note
arrow.
them down on Bardura's page,
Like-
Phil, with the other stuff.
Well, I was going to do that, but he didn't make a note of the other ones. So for now, I'll just leave it in the...
He sort of asked about it like he was, and he bundled them up like he was going to take them.
Yeah.
Yes, he just didn't make a
Maybe
note.
he made a note on his physical notes.
Yeah, there's a section here for rewards granted on this that I've never looked at in my life. I've never scrolled that far down. But so I've added that to the list there.
Maybe that's just something that James made for himself. He felt like he did a rewards granted section.
No, it's on the oh, that's really cool. Okay. It's just a little section there.
What?
It's on the report myself.
Oh, okay.
The session report. There's a section for rewards granted. Man, I should really go back and there's this is okay. It's just tricky because there's a lot. I'm trying to keep my general notes, but now I'm scrolling down. There's a thing for related characters. You can add different characters. Can I add multiple characters? Yes, I can. So I can add all the characters who are involved if I want to. If I'm keeping track of plots, which I'm really not, because that's a whole different kettle of it's like plot as in literally you've assigned an article in there as a plot. There's locations, primary location, secondary location, rewards granted, missions quests completed, characters interacted with, created content. I don't know what that means. What do you mean created content? That doesn't mean anything. Related reports and then extra notes. So I clearly need to make more use. I mean, it's just hard because there's a lot of scrolling, and it's hard keeping it. I mean, really, what I need to do is just listen back and then do all of that noting. It's just a lot of work. All right, so let's talk next steps.
So
what are you gonna do? So you've Eska has put the bodies in a sort of respectful, laid to rest kind of way. Well, not burying them, just leaving them in bushes, but respectfully leaving them in bushes.
We got their weapons, and they had no other trinkets, money, or coin.
No. They each have one of the symbols around their neck. On a little chain.
What are the symbols made out of?
It's just a little wooden, it's a wooden disc that's got a paw print carved into it.
Silvarius is going to take those and shatter them. Just cast out the pieces.
Eska will pull the arrow out of her shoulder.
Probably smart.
Put it in her quiver.
Yep. Yeah, another one.
I guess Smokey and Cosette can retrieve their
my
respective
javelin
projectiles.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hurrah!
Do we return to Delzimer or to the court of Ofen?
What's the geography situation vis-a-vis that? Are we close to the court of Bofin?
Give me a survival again, please.
Oh, 16 plus decent amount. We're gonna say 20.
Okay. So thinking about the route you've taken, you to get to here, you went along the road to Earthheart and badged down a little way, and then turned in. So that's along the north edge of the woods, and then went into the woods there. To access the Court of Bofin, you head south out of Delzimer along the east side of the woods, and then cut in once you get to the Tor of Bofin. So in theory, you're probably not crazy far from the court, with the caveat that
Right through the camp.
yes, one, you'd have to get past the camp to get there, and two, you have no idea exactly how far or exactly which direction it would be. You know, you're confident that you can get to both of those locations from the road, but then being able to figure out exactly how to get to the court from here would be very challenging. Doable, but challenging just because you've entered the woods from a completely different point and you do not know these woods very well.
Shall we go back to town?
It might be quicker to go back out and round. Yeah.
Aye, it sounds the better of the options.
I feel like what we do have on our side is time, so resting up would not be a bad idea.
Yes, I agree.
Is that our consensus?
Mhm.
Back to Delzimer?
Yes.
Okay. Give me one more stealth check as you head out.
Everybody.
Yes, please. Bardor cannot assist with Pass Without Trace.
You said he cannot.
He cannot.
It's
Disadvantage for the clankers?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You're on
25.
rolled an 18 and a 2 or a 3.
Ooh. 7 for 17.
16.
Oops. Kedox 13.
Okay. That is quite a range. Oh, so you, Severus, you end up on a 7? Is that what you're saying?
With the pass without a trace, 17.
There is no Pass Without a Trace.
7. If me and Cassette walk really closely together, it's a 10. How that works, right?
No.
Yeah.
Okay. So you start heading out of the woods. Back roughly the way you came to the clearing. You will note that, one, you're not being particularly quiet. Two, you are leaving quite obvious tracks. Has Eska been making paw prints this entire time?
I think actually when I went to move the body, I would have switched to making tracks matching the feet of one of the guys.
Okay.
It's going to be really weird if they find both the bodies and then their feet also walking off.
That was my thought, going for confusion.
You make it back to the road without being harassed by anyone or anything. And takes a little while. You're able to get back to Delzimer, unscathed.
I think it'd have been more of a concern about our prints leading where they lead if we were going to the court something. I think going back to Delzimer, that's not unexpected. So I I don't think we'd be majorly worried about that, probably.
Yeah, so it's sort of late afternoon as you get back to the West Gate. As you walk through, you see there's some guards cleaning the paw print that had appeared there recently. And everything seems to be bustling around pretty normally. I think this seems like a good stopping point, and we can just figure out what you want to do now you're back to Belgium. But you don't have to tell me right now. You've got time to figure it out.
You know what time to figure it out means, though? It means that we'll figure it out at the beginning of the next session because we'll have forgot to figure it out.
Precisely.
I'll try to remind you in the week before the next session.
I do think we might have a better chance now that we have a little more information, kind of proving ourselves a little bit. And the guards seem to be like not willing to talk about the problem, but they seem to at least acknowledge it more than some people. Like maybe we could go to the town guard, government, whatever, and maybe have some assistance with setting up something like a trap or something. Anyway, that's kind of my thought of like we might actually be able to get some backup if we tell them like, now with a little more, with a little more proof and the fact that like we can beat them. I think that was the thing that I sensed, at least, is that it's like, hey, we can't fight them, so let's just let them do whatever and hope they don't, kill a bunch of us. But
we can certainly prep them and tell them what we found for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, because it feels like they are potentially a little out of our league to just straight up walk in and deal with. I mean, we don't know the extent of what the two elves can do, but just the werewolf alone was going around wrecking us pretty bad, so you got to imagine that there's some potent stuff going on between those two. And we've got no idea how potent yet, so... We need to get that unicorn to come along and help. He's got to be powerful.
Right. the dark-skinned elf with at the court of Bofin that one time, was that just a dark elf, or was that the same elf as or skin tone as these others that we've seen?
So there was a drow.
Yes.
The court of Bofin.
Okay.
Who was talking to the court. It was vaguely their prisoner, kind of, sort of. And then there was, so the two who were sort of doing the talking at the camp there. One is the moon elf looking. The other is not an elf. I think you established previously it was a Triton.
Okay.
Hang on. Hang on. So at the two that were talking in the camp, yes. One of them was a Triton that I saw on the way out of Delsma that time.
Yes.
Oh, and was that the same person that showed up in the middle of our fight and just sort of overlooked it and then walked off?
Yes.
Okay. I was elfing that in my mind. And then the other one was a moon elf, which in my brain I was thinking was a drow. Right. But you said I just recognized the guy. I don't recognize the moon elf. It's not the moon elf we saw in town? Or do I can I not make that?
Interesting. Here's what you would know. One, the voice, because you would have caught some of the voice when she was speaking. She didn't say much, but you would have heard a little bit of the voice. Sounded very similar to the voice that was in your head.
Gotcha.
First of all.
Okay, that makes sense.
And second of all, definitely looks similar to the one you saw in town.
Okay. Well, that does...
Whether it was the same one or not is hard because you were far away.
That does change things a bit in terms of my thinking on the matter. For some reason in my brain I just thought two drow. I don't know why.
Zero drow. It's well, I mean, purple skin can lead to drow thoughts. But yeah, no, this is the Triton in the heavy armor that was you saw on the walls.
So that was the heavily armored one.
I probably now that we've established that, I probably would mention that I recognize him to everybody. I would probably say, hey, I've seen that Triton before. That's no drow. I don't know why you thought it was.
And it if you recall too, it's odd to see a Triton, especially this far now, away from the water. Tritons historically, one, don't typically wear like plate armor like that. Two, are almost exclusively found coastal. So Delsmer isn't out of the realms of possibility. It's a little odd, especially because Delsmer hasn't always been coastal. But three, the biggest thing is now you've got a Triton walking around in the woods is very unusual for them. Because a lot of them just live underwater and are never seen. They're quite a, secretive people.
Fascinating.
Yeah, I feel like there's still a bit to uncover then with these, like, how and why these guys are involved, because on the surface of it, both a bit weird. from in that sense. I mean, I guess I don't know who the traditional worshippers of is it Malar? I don't know. Well, I mean, I'm assuming beastie types, so werewolves and such, but I know oftentimes there's other things that traditionally associate with certain gods. I don't know if Tritons are among them. I guess, I don't know how much research we've done on Malar.
Oh, next to none.
That could be something we do.
Yeah.
Oh no,
little.
would we?
Everything we can to avoid the Faerun.
Yeah. Would we have to go to the Faerun to investigate that? That feels like the worst place ever.
But the temples that we could do.
The concept of researching Malar has come up multiple times.
We just haven't done it.
And every time you've done it, you say, "Do we need to go to the Fulworth?" And every time someone says, "No, that wouldn't help you."
Yeah.
Because that's like historical data, real estate information. You need to speak to religious folks to research Malar, ideally.
There was supposed to be a temple somewhere in Delzimmer.
Oh, the All Faith Temple.
The
All Faith Shrine. Yep.
But nobody's been there yet, have they?
Not in a way that would mean that they were physically there. No. They may have been there.
Oh, we've been there spiritually?
Possibly. Yeah. Possibly.
Okay. Well, we'll just ignore.
Okay,
we'll ignore all of that next time
and
do something else.
Back to Badger Downs.
Let's go mushroom picking.
Yeah.
You know what? You can always go back there, and if things happen because you're not around.
Yeah, I mean, why do we have to save the world? Somebody else can do it.
Adventuring parties are a dime a dozen. I mean,
we could just go back and work on some marketing materials for the Quipper. Start to get ahead of some.
So, what's the price of leather like in this town?
There's not really a shortage.
No shortage, man. Like, we're going to start working these economic problems, right? Like, buy low, sell high. We're professionals.
Let's not get carried away.